He's like, watch how it's done. And Jared was trying to fuck with his coverage, as they say. And like, Jensen was just like, cowboy. Unflappable. So that was, he was like, and he looks at me and goes, that's how it's done. So anyways, thank you. Great question. Sparked a lot of stories. Hi!
Hi, my name's Belle, and I was like wondering what your lore is, because I was thoroughly convinced that you were British until like 20 minutes ago. So like, what's the deal with that? Like, it's a very good British accent, I will admit.
Thank you very much, darling. So, someone asked me earlier today, where did you get your accent from? As many of you know, it's probably not there's many English accents, there's not one English accent. So, the development of who this guy was actually was an evolution through the audition process, actually. Because my first tape, which I may reveal sometime on my Patreon channel, have you seen it? Have I shown it to you? My original audition? No, okay, you haven't even seen it. So I'm in a leather jacket, I'm all scruffy, have the beard, and I sort of went in an extender, right? So you know, it says fucking like this, hey lads, what are you doing, huh? And it was like sort of way more Cockney, rugged, Londoner style. And it still got me a call back, but then they said, I think we want him to be sort of the James Bond of Supernatural, and Phil Segrisha said, just think Monster Bond and come in on your final audition for a suit. So I had 3 auditions, and the last one I actually just wore a tuxedo. I said, okay, let's go. And my Uncle Dave from the UK, so I have some British lineage on my family. My dad's Welsh, and then my Uncle Dave is a real proper Englishman. And again, they say in the UK now there's so many regional dialects, only about like maybe 3 to 4% of very posh, upper class people speak with the old received pronunciation of the Queen and the King. And so this would have been the classic, even in the 60s and 70s, BBC presenter voice. Now they allow all the accents to come through. So I had 3 major influences to catch. One was my Uncle Dave, who was a very posh Englishman. So I said, but he's literally a chin wagger. So he's like, right, good, yes, indeed, good, okay, no. So he's very posh, David. And then, being a Star Wars fan, the classic enemies of Grand Moff Tarkin, who speaks in the international theaters proper received pronunciation. You shall name as the target a military target, then name the system. So that, and then Roger Moore's James Bond is my James Bond that I grew up with. And if you watch him, he sort of has that classic posh English accent with a bit of a rounded out American style. So those were the 3 I was kind of like fusing together in my brain. And then you just sort of start to rehearse it, and then it's attitudinal. And you think of the arrogance he has, and sort of the training he would have had in elocution and the proper received English. So it just started to come out, and when you add some attitude and some snootiness and all that sort of thing like that, and then you find this delightful lioness in America who has taught you like how to hunt like you've never hunted before. Things get interesting, don't they? Yeah, so that guy. That's kind of where it comes from. And then the best thing for me was my first ever big con for Supernatural only was in Blackpool, UK. So that's when I was like, okay, this is where the rubber hits the road. And I would say my passing grade was about a 93% at my table. So when the Brits go, we thought you were British, that's when I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. So thank you for the question. It was a real fun challenge. Hello.
Hello. Following on that, if you had been Canadian men of letters, which accent would you go with, and would you change his name?
The question was if I was doing the Canadian men of letters? Oh, well, come on, you're just setting me up for a bit. You know I love to do this guy. So, I don't know if any of you know this, my background. So my dad's Welsh, my mom's from Texas. I'm a dual citizen, but I was born in the wilds of Canada, very small town Canada. So I don't know if any of you have seen Canadian television or maybe Letterkenny or like, Bob and Doug McKenzie. But I grew up in the land of posers, for real. So who would like to see my actual accent that I grew up with? Now that I heard. So I've kind of done this bit before, but thank you for setting it up, Lisa. I appreciate you. So, who here has seen Ice Road Truckers? Yeah? Do you know that accent I'm talking about? So it's Minnesota plus. So it's like, frickin' if you had the Canadian metal letters, right? You frickin' go hunt for Sasquatch and then go for a rip and have a dart after, right? With a 2-4 beer buddy. I'm fucking Randy Catch. I started the Canadian metal letters, buddy. One shot straight to your upper neck, pal. You look me in the eye, I'll frickin' tune you. I'll tune you like a fucking clock. Yeah, so let's go swatching. And we don't kill monsters in Canada. We just tease them a little bit. We say sorry, but you're a little bit out of line. We'd really appreciate it if you just calm down. Come have a beer with us, have a dart. We'll go for a rip, and then let's just all be buds. Okay, bud? Great. Randy Catch, Canadian Mental Entertainment Service. Let's go tease some monsters. Let's go be passive aggressive to some demons. That's the Canadian way. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I just have one question. Would you say Chupacabra?
Who's asking? Oh, you just said Sherry. In just as Dave, or you wanted it in the Catch voice?
Can you do both?
Yeah. I'll say it as Dave. I'll say it as Canadian Dave. What the frick is a Chupacabra, eh? We only got mooses and squashes where I come from, buddy. Chupacabra. And then Chupacabra. Do you know what she's talking about? Have you all seen, like, the ultimate blooper? I was so honored. You know what I found out about that? And Jensen came up to me, he's like, have you seen the new blooper that Phil cut together? I was like, no. He's like, it may be my favorite. And it was in Rome, it was at Jib, after we had finished season 12. And then he pulled it up on his phone, I'll never forget watching it. And I was like, oh my God. So there's actually a funny story of how that, oh my God, did you hear that? Oh no! Okay, so there's a real good story behind it. Shit, I gotta watch that. Like, it's like, it gets in me, it gets folksy. You put a few tequilas in me too, it gets real buddy, fuck yeah, but it's dangerous. Wow. I got a story for you. They had their coverage on the day before that I came in. So the scene was not continuous or contiguous, right? They had put it together, two sides of the phone call are often shot on different days, right? And so they had that whole cracking up day with the crew laughing about Chupacabra, where they're like shaking, the camera's shaking, they can't keep it together. So Phil Segresha, one of the executive producers and the director of that episode, he's a very clever editor and he loves comedy. And I could kind of tell like something was up when it came time for me. I'm going hunting for Chupacabra with your mother in Texas, was the actual line. But I said it like pretty well, and generally like when you get it out, it's 2 or 3 takes. But he's like, yeah, can you say that again and just put a little something extra on this and a little something. So little did I know at the time, Phil is building that blooper in his brain, right? Because he had known what had happened the day before. And then I started hearing the crew kind of tittering the more I said Chupacabra, because I think they were kind of in on the joke from yesterday, but no one was telling me anything. So in a weird way, the Chupacabra blooper video is kind of Phil pranking me with the fun that they had the day before. And so he did all these like slow pans into my face and me looking really like morose and angry and stuff like that. And then if you haven't seen it, I really suggest, right folks? Google the Chupacabra blooper on YouTube. Like, and if you're a Supernatural fan, you won't be disappointed. So, thanks for just that simple request sparked a story. Appreciate it. Thank you. It is muggy. Is it me or is it is so muggy? Would someone get me dark helmet so I can just put it over my head? Sorry, I'm schwitzing. Hi there.
Hi, it's your newbie friend.
What's that? Take a deep breath.
It's your newbie friend.
It's your newbie friend.
Oh yes, hi. I was like, I'm your Newfie friend. I was like, you want me to do a Newfoundlander's accent? Hey there, boy, put on the belly wrap. You want to go to your birthday? Spitching it.
So my question is, if you could go back in time and play a different character on the show, who would it be and why?
Go back in time and go to another show?
No, play a different character in the show.
In this show?
Yes.
Ooh, gosh. That's so hard. Because it's like, I'll answer it. But I just got to quibble, not to your question, because it's so hard. Because it's like, I auditioned for the show 6 times for different roles, different like small roles and guest stars before I got catch. So they kept bringing me back. And unless you're Jillian Barber, who gets to play twice in 15 years, there must be a list of that too, where characters have been more than once on the show. Is there? Like, is it like 10 or more? Or is it?
There's a lot.
There's a lot? Because the Vancouver... See, someone's got to make this website. I'm giving you a gift. Run. But like, there's this thing with actors. I don't know if any of you know actors who have aspiring actors, but even the greats will tell you when they're developing their career, 98% of this job is rejection, right? It is 98% not getting the job. If you are booking 3 to 4% of your gigs in your 20s and your 30s, until you get on a series, you are crushing it as an actor. Just think of that for a second. Those are like the stats of telemarketing closing, right, in an hour. So there's this whole mantra with actors, is you sort of have to, in order to keep going and believe in yourself, you have to sort of say, it's just play, there is no job, and also, you get the jobs you were supposed to get. Does that make sense? Because I cannot imagine my life without being Arthur Ketch, and there's no other actor in this show that I don't think is perfectly cast. So it's a weird thing for me to go back in time and want to do any other role now, knowing what my experience is with the guys and in this role. So having said that, because I don't want to dodge your question, there was only one Mark Shepard, but one of my favorite characters on the show, of course, is Crowley. So that just as a role, and I don't want to pretend that I would want to do it or anything, like Shepard is a genius in that role, but I love that role of any, like let's just say Supernatural becomes like Shakespeare and they're doing stage productions of it. I would love to take my shot at doing Crowley. Is it Crowley or Crowley? I know it's Crowley. But what's that other one, the Angels and Demons? They say Crowley, right? What's that?
Oh.
Yeah. But they call it Crowley on that show, right? Like Motor Crow. Doesn't matter. Does that answer your question at least? I didn't want it to be a dodge, but yeah. It's just, I kind of can't see myself as anyone else other than Ketch. I had so much fun doing it, so thank you. Appreciate it. See you at dinner. Nope? Okay, great. Hi. There's secrets being told. I don't get any nervous.